They're motocross's next generation of stars, and this is their annual playground. The Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. In this sport, greatness is usually honed at a very young age, which means a lot of these amateurs are actually household names already. But who will survive under the heat and pressure of the spotlight in Tennessee? This is the 39th annual running of the Proving Ground, the Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship from Loretta Lynn's Ranch. It's about an hour outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Some social distancing rules in order here as everyone signs up and gets ready to race, gets their traditional national race bibs. One thing that hasn't changed, this hollowed turf. We'll take you through it and give you an idea of what this course is like with the MX versus ATV all-out track map. Yes, you can actually play this game in the game with the Real Loretta's track. This is the tunnel, and you make a right. These are the famous billboards. The best of the best to compete at this event as amateurs on your left side. These ruts are super deep. There's a Yamaha mechanics area to the right. It's where you hook onto the track after the start. See a surprising amount of passes in these turns because of the ruts and the mistakes they breed, and also how many line changes there will be with this soft soil. And it's the soil that really allows a track that's pretty flat and fairly small and tight to become quite challenging. And then the famous 10 commandments, and the jump lines through there will change throughout the week. What also makes this event difficult is that you're running motorcycles out here from tiny 50cc bikes for 4-year-olds all the way through 450s for nearly pro-level riders. So that changes the lines on the racetrack as well. This is Storyland out in the back, and then a triple. Some riders are going to be able to get you. Twist through these trees here. Again, the ruts will really get you. One of the few areas of the track that really opens up and has some speed. Then you're into a sand wash, bringing a lot of sand here. It's super rough. This inside line will get dug out, so a lot of riders will sweep the outside. We call this jump the anthill. Then this tree turn will lead the riders back toward the finish line. Got to jump here. You can really send it. You can throw it as far out as you want right here. Use some of these braking bumps and sand rollers as a landing if you really want to get aggressive. And this is the final turn right here. And we have seen riders come together right here with championships on the line. And there is your finish line jump and one lap here at the Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship. Definitely fun in the video game, but it is purely serious when we go racing. We will have a series of 3 shows covering this event. Today we will focus on the very prestigious 250 Pro Sport class. These are the riders about to make their pro debuts, so they are nearly at pro level speed, and most of them are on pro level equipment and ride with the pros during the week. This will be the first of their 3 motos. Austin Black on the 55, and Mason Gonzalez battling for the whole shot. Couple of riders pushed off the track and a few are down. It is Gonzalez on the Rock River Yamaha grabbing the lead. First moto is often a mess here at Loretta Lynn's. It is tradition that the riders get their first moto gate pick drawn at random, so you sometimes have the fastest riders with the worst gate pick. So you will see some come from behind action in this moto, but it is Mason Gonzalez trying to extinguish all of that fire out front. Dylan Schwartz now up to 3rd. Jair Mitchell on that 22 was off the racetrack temporarily in the 10 commandments, now has it back under control. So it's Gonzalez, Black, and Schwartz on the Bar X Suzuki rider out of California, putting the attack on immediately. Oh, I thought he had the pass already made there in Storyland, trying to come back. It is all about the multiple lines on this racetrack, and we are set for a good one. The first moto of the week in the prestigious 250 Pro Sport class. Who will establish themselves as motocross's next big star? Stay with us. This is the Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship from Loretta Lynn's Ranch. 39 years of activity here, but we've never seen or heard anything quite like this. KTM and Husqvarna now with electric mini cycles, and there is a class exclusively for them. And this could be the sound of the future of the sport as they go racing for national championship status for the first time. It's a good way to prep the youth for what could be coming next.
Hey everybody, my name is John Hines. I'm the CEO of KTM North America and Husqvarna Motorcycles North America. We are extremely excited to be here at Loretta's this year with this brand new E-Mini class for our 4 to 6-year-olds. This product was in development for about 4 years, and this is the first ever time that we've come at this level with this type of competition. And at the end of this week, we're going to crown the very first ever E-Mini electric motorcycle national champion. And we're so excited to be a part of this, and we want to thank everybody at MX Sports for all their support, AMA for all their support to bring this new technology to motorcycling. We believe it's going to be part of the future, and we want to grow these young athletes all the way through the sport. So thanks everybody, and looking forward to crowning the champion tomorrow.
And what's interesting is the same riders that battled on the traditional two-stroke gas 50s, Cade Nightingale and Jaden Smart, battled in the Mini E class as well. Nightingale went 1-1-2 to get the overall in the 3 motos. He is your first Mini E champ. Much more traditional racing here, 250Fs, 4 strokes. Mason Gonzalez on the Yamaha leads the way. After 1 lap, Dylan Schwartz did make the move around Austin Black to get up into second. And it's looking more and more like it's going to be a private duel between those two. They pulled away from everybody else. Black holding down third. But again, you see how raceable this track is. Under attack, Devin Simonson and Styles Robertson coming together. Robertson in the yellow gear able to make that pass. Wasn't pretty, but he's got to make things happen in a hurry after the bad start. Now going after Black for third. The 3-moto format means if you can get a top 3, and wow, what a move. I thought Robertson had the pass made. Now he's going to try the outside, and he makes it happen. I was going to say, even third in the first moto with the 3-moto format means you have a shot at the overall. So good damage control here for Robertson, formerly a big Kawasaki Team Green prospect, but has now switched over to the Husqvarna motorcycles and has not missed a beat. Meanwhile, battle brewing up front. Schwartz on the Suzuki has caught Gonzalez. Gonzalez has said he does not have a pro deal lined up. He's trying to make a name for himself. Schwartz, with this Bar X Suzuki team, might try a pro race or two after this. He's just more focused on the amateur racing right now. And focus on him. Look how quick he is. Walking the tightrope down the inside of that sand turn, and he makes the pass on Gonzalez. Not much room, but he made it happen, and then Gonzalez made the mistake to further open the door for Schwartz. This Bar X team really rebuilding the fortunes of Suzuki's amateur program. They were pretty fast here last year, and now looking for a moto win. Oh! Just as quickly as I say that, a big mistake. Schwartz almost goes down in the same way that Gonzalez nearly did earlier. But this would be very big if Suzuki can get this moto win and maybe even a title with Schwartz. And he's had to make some passes to boot to get there. His team managed by Larry Brooks, a legend as a team manager with Supercross champions like Jeremy McGrath, James Stewart, Chad Reed. That's how serious it is in the amateur ranks these days. And you need all of that tutelage in this class. Gonzalez not going away. And another mistake by Schwartz, and Gonzalez starting to close back up. Gonzalez rides and trains at the Millsaps training facility right on the Florida and Georgia state line in Cairo, Georgia. Originally from a little bit further south in Florida. Schwartz out front is a Californian. Let's see how they tackle these 10 commandments, both entering on the inside. That half jump on the outside will come in later in the week. And Robertson, he's got a big jump line through there, closing up just a little bit from third. Simonson, some mistakes entering the 10 commandments, but still holding down fourth ahead of Chandler Baker in the number 5 spot. So we have lost Austin Black, who was third early. Cade Niffing coming through next as they are into Storyland. And it's Bradley Esper you saw just coming through. And Vinny Luhovi here in the number 11, usually a whole shot artist. He has had to work his way up. Gotta wonder, again, if that random first moto gate pick held Luhovi back off the line. And a lot of riders just trying to take the measure of where they are against the competition and the track. You will see throughout this week-long event some riders who are not on the radar at all in the early motos start putting in podium finishes or moto wins as the week goes on, and it often goes the other direction as well. Someone will start the week strong and then not be able to finish it in the same manner, and that's really the whole idea of this event, is to take 1 week and try to make it feel like a full racing season so all the talent scouts out there can learn the strengths and weaknesses of these riders. Gonna probably have a moto that's early in the day, late in the day. Track could be rough, track could be a little smoother. Might have to deal with different weather, especially rain and mud is almost always a factor in a moto out here. Trying to determine who the most well-rounded talent is here in the amateur ranks. Good battle here behind the billboards. Simonson holding the spot. It's a little bit rough now, but nothing compared to what it will be later in the week. Simonson and Baker really going at it through these twisties. Oh, nice move on the inside. Long, short shoot into the 10 Commandments here. Yeah, that's actually what we call that section, the long, short shoot. Now the 10 Commandments. Simonson riding a wide motorcycle, doing everything he can to hold this spot. Bouncing over the top of the 10 Commandments. That's Baker, the rider out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I thought he had the pass made. We'll stay with this one as Schwartz has locked it down out front. Look at the relentless pressure Simonson is having to deal with. And finally, Baker is able to make his way to that number 4 spot. That was hard earned. Everyone wants these spots. You never know what position can make all the difference in a 3-moto title run at the end of the week. Dylan Schwartz looking good right now. Welcome back to coverage of the Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship. While our 250 Pro Sport class is underway, we'll show you that every rider gets to enter 2 classes here if they earn the right through a series of qualifiers throughout the country. Moto 1 of the Open Pro Sport class, a lot of the same talent in that division. Styles Robertson takes the win. Then Robertson, not a great start here in Moto 2. Robertson, by the way, riding at 250 in this class. 450s are eligible, but a lot of these young riders would rather stick with the bike they're used to. But Mason Gonzalez, who has been a whole shot master all week, uses his Yamaha 450 to get the Moto win. There's a strange situation on the gate there that led to Robertson getting that bad start and finishing second. So Moto 3 is a showdown. Robertson versus Gonzalez for the title. Gonzalez yet another whole shot. He had been getting them all week. For the first 3 laps, he had Robertson covered. But then Robertson found his groove at the midpoint of the moto and was able to take the win away and beat Gonzalez, as they would say, straight up. And that makes Styles the Open Pro Sport National Champ.
Yeah, I knew he was going to get a good start on the 450. I'm still in 250, but no, it was good. It made it a challenge, for me. I had to settle down, ride my laps, and was able to get around him. And yeah, I just rode my own race from there on out. And yeah, feels good. And yeah, it was a really good week.
So again, everyone races 2 classes. Robertson wins the Open Pro Sport class over Gonzalez. Schwartz, the starts really got away from him as the week went on. He ended up 3rd in the Open Pro Sport division over Vinny Luhovi and Austin Black. So that was Open Pro Sport. We return to this 250 Pro Sport. A lot of the same names. Moto 1, Schwartz out front. Gonzalez trying to hold off Robertson in a battle for 2nd and 3rd. Robertson really putting in a hard charge here, knowing that every position could count with the championships being declared at the end of the week. Using the outside lines, and that was dangerous. They almost came together on the face of that one. Gonzalez able to hold him off. Great battle here as we're in what we call the beach is sand turn. Gonzalez thought he had a look on the inside. Didn't come together for him. Schwartz is long gone, so this battle for 2nd is the best one on the racetrack. Robertson well established in the amateur ranks. Gonzalez knows if he can hold him off here, or maybe even beat him for the title outright, it would be huge for his career. Robertson trying to live up to the hype. He gets to ride and train at the Baker's factory facility in Central Florida alongside a lot of big name pros. So Robertson wants to take all that tutelage and turn it into a title. First order of business, overcome the bad start of this moto, try to get a second place finish, which will make his title path a lot easier. Saw for a second Schwartz way up front. Robertson doing everything he can. He thought he had another opening on Gonzalez into Storyland. And this time he makes it happen. Gonzalez gonna have to be perfect around the outside here. Good, but not enough. Robertson into the number 2 spot. Nice come from behind ride for the rider originally out of Bakersfield, California. And now into the sand section. That's one of 2 sand sections. The other one, that beach turn coming up. I don't think there's enough time in this moto for Robertson to even consider running down Schwartz. But it will be interesting to see those two battle it out in future motos, and they'll have 2 more to go. Moto 1 is all about the Suzuki man up front. It's the Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship from Loretta Lynn's Ranch outside of Nashville. Jason Wygant here to give you the call. Styles Robertson, the black and yellow gear. What a charge by this teenager. He has had to move up from a bad start, got up to second. Mason Gonzalez on that Yamaha behind him, trying to keep it close. With Dylan Schwartz up front. Waning moments of this first of 3 motos. Robertson has really been on a career rebound, was outstanding as a young rider here in the 50cc divisions. It was okay through a lot of the other mini cycle classes, but didn't win any titles. And then last year, the B class finally got back on top with his familiar Monster Energy Kawasaki ride, and the Rockstar Husky people came calling. They believe he is going to be the next rider for their team. They were interested in his services, and he signed on. And that allowed him to go train at that Baker's facility down in Florida. And he has only gotten stronger and faster since then. But I don't think it will be enough to catch Schwartz right now. And Robertson, the first of what they call the Bakersfield Bunch. A group of riders out of Bakersfield, California, have been at the top of the amateur ranks for a long time. Got Jet Reynolds in the B class and Ryder DeFrancesco in Super Mini also to watch. This man Schwartz up front, a little bit closer to San Diego, much more southern part of the state toward the coast. And this is huge for Schwartz, for his team, for Suzuki to go out there and top what might be the fastest class of the week. Dylan Schwartz quickly got around Gonzalez for the lead, and he has shown no doubts of his potential at the next level. And he will probably come out. They're going to race a pro race for the first time at this track next week. Team says he will come out and race that, but they're only going to hold him to race 3 pro races this year, so he can keep his amateur eligibility for 2021 if they want to use it. I don't think he would pass up the opportunity if he could get a factory pro ride next year. But this Bar X Suzuki team, for the moment at least, is Suzuki's amateur arm. Never know what the JGR, Joe Gibbs Racing Suzuki team might say. At least at the moment, they are running Suzuki's pro outlet exclusively. And Jeremy Albrecht, team manager for that pro squad, says they're watching. They've got to be happy with what Suzuki has developed here in Schwartz. And he has this locked down. Just to give you an idea, really every top American racer comes through this event. Last year, the big stars were Jet Lawrence and the Amateur Horizon Award winner, Jalik Swoll. Also, Joe Shimoda raced this event, all 3 onto pro careers now. And the greatest ever, Ricky Carmichael, the greatest of all time, raced here and won multiple titles. Ooh, Schwartz almost throws it away. James Stewart, Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey, Eli Tomac, you name it, they have come through the ranch. So that's what Dylan Schwartz is trying to do, establish himself as a big name like those riders. Schwartz has one career title here at Loretta's. Did get a moto win last year against Robertson in the B class, but Robertson went on to win the title. So these riders at these ages are pretty familiar with each other. And it will be fun to see them face off in future motos. But the first moto of the week goes to Schwartz, a no-doubter. Early establishment there. Got to be a lot of confidence for him. Robertson comes across in second. As we said, a good salvage job from the bad start, but it's just one of three motos. Gonzalez still in it with a solid third. Simonson and Black rounding out the top five. Varizi, Kilroy, Niffing, Esper, and Brandon Walther rounding out the top 10. Give you a quick race recap. Mason Gonzalez, unbelievable with his starts all week. Great in the Open Pro Sport, great here in 250 Pro Sport. Able to just get around Austin Black to lead this one early on. You won't see much of Styles Robertson. He's about 8th or 9th here. Dylan Schwartz would quickly snake his way into second and go after the 93 of Gonzalez for the lead. And it was a good battle between these two young men. With Black closing the gap. And then they would engage in some battle, and Schwartz had some really good lines. Able to use those inside ruts. That's not easy. They were deep, but it didn't slow him down, not one bit. And there he is, able to draw up on Gonzalez. Gonzalez tried his best to fight him off. I don't know where Schwartz found the room in this sand section. It looked like he was going to get squeezed off on the inside, but he just had enough to get by Gonzalez. Then Gonzalez, probably feeling him there on the left side, makes a little mistake and goes by. From there, Schwartz was able to pull a solid lead. Gonzalez hung with him for a few laps, but soon he would have to worry about Styles Robertson coming on from third. They went at it. Robertson able to get the rut to move into the number 2 spot. But it was too little too late for Robertson to try to go after the leader, Schwartz, who was long gone. But it's a 3-moto format. We'll have the other motos coming your way as MAVTV provides coverage of this Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship. Can Robertson do something with Schwartz if he can start with him in the second and third motos? That is going to be the question as riders begin to establish themselves in this 250 Pro Sport class. So early in the week, Dylan Schwartz fires first and wins Moto 1 of 250 Pro Sport. We'll also have coverage of other classes coming your way here. 2 more episodes coming next week on MAVTV as we look for the next generation of professional motocross superstars at the traditional amateur playground, this Loretta Lynn's Ranch in Tennessee. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.